Coach, are you proud of the way that the team responded on the whole from the Washington loss?
Yeah, for the most part. You know, it was a week where every time they picked up a paper or the TV went on, everybody was talking about it. SC was done, and they're gonna have to go up to Stanford, a team that beat them easily last year, and first time double-digit underdogs. All the stuff that, you know, they read all week, and they didn't buy into it. You know, they went up there and played extremely physical, played hard, and had the lead with 2 seconds to go.
I know it's a tough loss to swallow, but you just said it. You had the lead with 2 seconds to go, and last year this team beat the Trojans down pretty good at the Coliseum. So do you look at that as improvement? You look at that from one year to the next?
Sure, you do. You know, even though teams are different, every year is different, but you do look at it afterwards. You know, okay, where is our program going in the direction? And then you know what happened in that game last year, and then for our guys, you know, a majority of those guys were in that game, and then for them to come back a year later on the road up there, you know, and be 2 seconds from a win, yeah, there's some positives from that.
Defensively, are the problems more scheme or personnel?
Well, we're just not playing very well right now, and we're not playing fast. Unfortunately, we're seeing things and not really having a lot of confidence to go after them. And you know, that'll come with some experience, and we'll improve. And I think we'll play well this week.
Is there one area of improvement that you want to focus on this week with the defense?
Yeah, you know, it's tackling again. You know, and assignments. So we need to tackle better, and we need to get lined up so we can play faster.
Chris Gallipo was sort of part of the highs and the lows of the night. How do you evaluate his performance? Because it seemed like he was coming on and getting more reps.
Yeah, really, his performance, you know, really is kind of our issue right now. He played so well, like we've done in 2 games for a majority of the game, and then right at the end makes a really poor decision in crunch time with the penalty. And really, you know, that was a 4-yard gain right there. The clock was running. We had a lot of momentum, and all of a sudden it's 15 yards and it stops the clock.
He claims that there's no whistle at the end. There were a couple other refereeing decisions. How do you go about getting answers to those questions with the conference this week? Were you able to get any sort of solutions on those?
Yeah, we followed a process. You know, there were a number of things in that game that seemed to be strange as they were happening, and you know, the clock not running when it was supposed to on our last play on offense, and so we've turned all those things over to them, and you know, I doubt that they're going to give us the win.
A great night offensively. How special can Robert Woods be?
Really special. You know, here's a guy. Not only do you see the stats on offense, here's a guy that was covering kicks and kickoff returning as well, to put him over 300 yards total for the game as a true freshman. So, you know, he's one of the reminders of the great, bright future here. You know, the guy throwing the ball is a true sophomore. The guy scoring our first rushing touchdown is a true freshman in Dylan Baxter, and then Robert Woods is a true freshman going over 200 yards and 12 catches and 3 touchdowns. You know, is a number of the really young players playing for us.
The guy throwing the ball, Matt Barkley, did he take that next step from good to great, at least for this week?
He did for this week, and it was really good to see his development here as an SC quarterback. And 2 weeks ago, he had come off throwing 4 picks in 2 weeks after the Washington State game. And, you know, it was addressed in that meeting, the SC quarterback will not play that way. And to see his response has been great. He's now gone 2 games in a row, completing a ton of balls, no turnovers at all, fumbles or interceptions. He's taking care of the ball, and then to do that as well as throw for 390, run for 30 more, you know, was a really special step for him, because he made those critical plays that even last week, those 2 last throws he made last week, he made those this week.
I know the answer to most questions is improve in practice, but how hard is that to do when so many guys are limited, as you call them, and unavailable to play in the team portion, 7-on-7 usually?
Yeah, it is what it is. You know, we took an approach last week after the Washington game to be more physical in practice, hit a little bit more. We didn't tackle, but we hit a little bit more than normal. Unfortunately, that banged us up more. So, you know, we've just got to monitor and be real careful as our numbers continue to diminish.
In your first year at USC in 2001, that team lost a lot of close games. Do you draw any parallels to that? You lost a couple on late field goals in that season as well, and then finished strong. Do you look back at your coaching history and draw parallels like that?
No, I feel like we're better now. You know, we started that year 2. A lot of them were close games, but we started that year 2-5. You know, we're 4-2, and we're 5 seconds away from being 6-0. So there's a lot of differences there. You know, in our offense, fortunately, you know, has been playing well. this season outside of, really the Virginia game. Unfortunately, we haven't been playing well on defense, and we've been playing well on special teams. So if we can maintain this on offense and improve on defense, we're going to be a pretty good team.
Are you concerned at all about motivating this team, or do you feel like the leaders and everybody has handled it pretty well so far, and it should be okay?
I'm not. I think that, you read so much last week, so many conversations about, are they going to be motivated after now they can't go 13-0 and they lost to Washington at home on the last second. They're going to go up to Stanford, a team that beat them so easily last year. And I think as you watch the game, I don't think motivation was an issue in that game. I think our players played extremely hard. So I'm not worried about it.
You finished with 5 of 7 games in Los Angeles. Do you think that'll help get this team on a roll?
I hope so. It's good to be back home, but it's not good if we don't play better at home. So we're going to have to play better, but it is good to be back home after a lot of road games.
Give us the general scouting report on Cal.
Yeah, very, very good on defense, much improved. Defense really was not something they did great last year. You can see that statistically and by scores in the games. But they're playing great. They lead the conference in total defense. I think they lead in passing defense, and they lead in sacks. This is a team outside of when they played the pistol in that game. Outside the Nevada game, I don't think they've given it more than 10 points all year long. This is a really, really good defense and a team that, like always, knows how to run the ball really well on offense.
Yeah, the numbers, as you said, they've given them 3, 7, 52, 9, and 7. So fair to say that 52 is an aberration. You look more at the other 4 games?
Sure, that 52 doesn't help us, unless we're going to put Barkley in the pistol this week. That really game's irrelevant to us. The other games with more conventional offenses, they've done a great job against.
It seems like every year they plug in a new running back, and this year's version is Shane Vereen. What kind of threat is he?
Yeah, home run hitter. This guy's really good. Like you said, another in the line of great backs that they've had. And, this is going to be a real big challenge for us.
The numbers have dipped for Kevin Riley in the last couple of weeks. Is that a game plan thing, or how do you game plan for him?
I think they're just playing to their strengths. He can still throw the ball really well when he needs to. I think they're playing to that their defense is playing really well and that they're running the ball really well.
What can you always count on from a Jeff Tedford team? What's his MO?
Yeah, they're going to come to play. They have always, I know last year, was kind of different, but usually these guys have played very competitive games against us. We've been fortunate to get them, I think, the last 6 years in a row or whatever it is. But they've always come to play. They've never been in awe of the Trojans coming in. They've been ready to go and present us with a lot of challenges.
There's been some good coaching storylines the last 2 weeks. This is a fun one for you. I know you're close with Tedford. What has he meant to your career?
Yeah, really a lot. People talk all the time about who you coached under, but I think one of the things that is very, very critical to your coaching career is who do you play under. I was able to be a quarterback under him, so I was in his meetings all the time. I was already learning well before I started coaching, and then my last year there was coaching with him, sitting next to him in the press box.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.